Really quickly today, I'm going to do a quick unboxing for you guys, followed up by a comprehensive review of this bait. I'm going to be taking it out tomorrow, doing some fishing, but I wanted to get the unboxed part doing tonight. So it's from Teckel Warehouse, as you can see. I posted about this, on my Instagram and Twitter that this was out there for people. A lot of people weren't very happy that I did. I got the information actually from the folks at Tactical Bassing. Those guys put it out on their Instagram, and so that was really cool of them to do that, and so I decided to share it with some folks as well. So got it cut open. Again, I know what's in here. Don't need that. I don't need the receipt. I guess if I want to return it, I could do that. And here we go. It's the Teckel Sprinker Frogs. They come with an extra tail. That's awesome. So I got two of them. I got the bone color. For you guys that have been watching me fish for a while, you know I like using the bone top waters like the Whopper Plopper. Some of the other stick baits, I really enjoy the bone color. I don't know why it works so good for me, but it does. And this is the, what color was this one? The black blue. The reason I got this, again, black works really good in a lot of different places. I'm going to be going out to the Delta tomorrow, and it's just a phenomenal place for either white baits or dark colored baits, especially on top water. So I'm going to give it a shot. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be coming up in the second part of this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the on the water footage and the review. Okay guys, we're out here today and we're going to be talking about the new, if I can get her off here, the Teckel Sprinker Frog. I'm going to try to do some good footage for you guys, show you this thing in action. I'm starting out with the bone color. We're out here on the California Delta, phenomenal frog spot. So this ought to be interesting. I've never used this before, just got them the other day. The hooks are bent up a little bit, which I like. It kind of comes that way. Tail's pretty solid, so we'll see what happens. So first part of this review here, I'm throwing this thing a couple of casts. I can tell you this, there is a speed in which this thing works really well, and if you go much faster or slower than that, then it's not really that great. So we'll have to see what we can figure out here in the next few minutes. I hope you enjoyed that on the water footage of the new Sprinker Frog from Teckel USA. I got a few key takeaways from my day out there throwing that sucker, so I wanted to give you guys some positives, a couple of negatives, but really this thing works pretty well. So on the positive side, it will come through just about anything you cast it into just really, really well. I threw it into some tules, I threw it into, over some wood, I threw it over some grass mats and some hyacinths, some things where I normally would expect the frog to get hung up a little bit, but it really didn't. And I attribute that a lot to where the weight placement is. It's way back there in the back, which will keep that end up a little bit as it's coming through, keeps the tail in the water to spin pretty well. But it just come through just about everything I threw it into really well. Another thing I really like about this thing is straight out of the box, the hooks have a little bit of an upward angle to them. A lot of times when I'm buying a frog, I'll have to take my pliers and open up those hooks just a little bit to give it more of that upward angle. It really increases my hookup ratios, and it just, it just really helps with the fishing of the frog, and for the catching more fish. Another thing I really like about it is I could cast it really well. I was using my normal frog rod, which is a pretty stiff Lamiglass frog rod, and normally, with a frog, you whip it out there, you can get some pretty good distance on it. I'm using 65-pound braid. But this sucker cast really well, considering it's got this loose tail on the back. Almost kind of was concerned about like you would with a spinner bait when you throw it out there and the willow leaf or the Colorado leaf kind of gets caught in the wind, and it just didn't happen. It really casted really well. A couple of the negative things about it, which are very, very minor things, is there is a good speed to retrieve this at. Similarly to what you would see with the Whopper Plopper or any other topwater bait, there's a speed in which this thing works really ideally. It's a medium retrieve, it really is. It comes through the water just perfect. It has a buzz bait sound when it's coming through the water, right? Too fast and it kind of straightens out. That tail will kind of go straight like this, and so you're not getting that good action that you would get off the back of it. Too slow and it'll still move and that thing will still wash, but it just kind of flops around. It doesn't get the good circular motion that you're looking for. Another negative thing that I had was a few times on the initial cast when it would first land, if it landed in some weedy or mossy areas, you would get that little buildup around the swivel here or even on the hooks where that grass or the moss would get on there, which kind of would affect the performance of it. A couple of times I ripped it and it cleared itself. A couple other times I just had to reel it back and clear it by hand. But that's not a big issue. Obviously from the video I had a couple of hookups that I missed. I don't necessarily blame that on the frog. Could be me, could be the fish just didn't have the bait well, which happens a lot when you're frog fishing. You got to have a lot of patience to throw frogs all day, and I was out there just kind of testing it, seeing what was going to happen. I hadn't been on the Delta in a while. There's always a great frog bite on the Delta, especially throughout the summer and into the early part of the fall. We had a pretty cool overnight low Saturday to Sunday night or Sunday morning. So we got out there Sunday morning. It was still a little chilly. The water temperature had cooled off a little bit, which will obviously affect the fishing. So all in all, I have to say this is a pretty cool bait. It really comes through the water well. It really has a good sound. I really think this thing is going to catch a lot of fish for a lot of people. If nothing else, it's going to be a great search bait because it definitely helped me to find the fish. It came through the water. I would get the blow-ups or the swirls or even some fish following it, which will really indicate that you're in an area that's holding fish. So if they won't bite on this, then you can switch over to your jig or switch over to a Cinco or a Texas rig or something like this. Long and short is, it's worth the money to give it a shot. Go out and throw it around. This thing is going to catch fish on ponds. It's going to catch fish on lakes and river systems. Some of the colors that they have are going to be great smallmouth colors. Smallmouth people don't realize sometimes that they love eating topwater, and I think they're going to really enjoy chewing on this thing. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, just a kind of a little quick review of this new bait. Hit that like and subscribe button, share the channel, share the video, do all those things that everybody on YouTube always asks you to do. I appreciate you guys, as usual, watching the video. We're into the month of October now, going to be planning that October giveaway, so stay tuned for details on that. And thanks again for watching.